Hello and welcome to Top Sim. I'm William Lebowski, and welcome to Abu Dhabi as well as the year 2022. We've been expecting you from the future for some time now. But anyway, you'll notice this sim race, is actually going to have a lot of similarities between what happened in the real life race and this current race, this fake race that you're currently seeing. You'll see the first lap in its entirety. Then going forward, you'll see just kind of the passes up until the end of the race as everything kind of cooks out. And the similarities are going to be shocking. And just to kind of tease them, there was the Hamilton move off the corner, whether or not that should have been a penalty. When he had to go very wide to avoid Max. And then there was also a safety car right at the end of this race. And there was some real aspects of this race that really wanted to tie it all together, and it being the year that is 2021, the Formula One season, sim racing seasons, everything just kind of seemed to come together. And it kind of made sense to upload because I'm sure you guys have noticed I don't really upload any F1 series from the game gameplay much at all, and so this is a little bit of a departure. So hopefully that is something you're fine with. But mentioning it is the off season, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's a weird quasi off season, especially when it comes to sim racing, because you don't need weather to dictate your season. But coming off of the off season of Formula One and the hype that is surrounded this entire season, as well as all of the energy required to keep up with it socially, not necessarily just watching the race, but to the energy required to have conversations about Formula One, because it's been a very trying year. I think all the way around, especially you can't imagine what the drivers and teams have gone through this year. But for fans, I think we all were annoyed, overjoyed, underwhelmed, disappointed, whatever it is, throughout the whole year. So just going through that on Twitter and on Discord has been draining. So it's nice to have that type of off season, especially going into the new car. But then, as I mentioned earlier, the off season for sim racing is approaching. But like I said, it's that weird quasi kind of off season where things like EERC starts this month. But something like Gem is not going to start till later in the year because they are still at the butt end of the 2021 season. One more event in January, and then the next one coming, I believe, is still in February. Here is our Hamilton move. It is penalized in the game, and it did make me chuckle. I had to go back and fix that because I just was so curious about what was going to happen there. It was more of the curiosity killing the cat. Probably should have stuck with it for immersion or whatever, but I digress. Ending that season with Gem, I think to think about that season has been, on a whole, has actually been pretty phenomenal. So far, we finished every race that we've entered. We've had to miss 4 hours of Silverstone because my pedals went out, and the other the second driver that was going to compete in that 4-hour race with me had an emergency, and so we were just unable to, and they were both last minute. My pedals went out the day or two before practice sessions opened for the event, and so it was going to be impossible for us to get someone else signed up and ready to go, and especially considering the practice and the 105% rule that is in effect in the Global Endurance Series. So we did not able to enter that one. It was very disappointing, but we started the whole 24-hour Le Mans, and it wasn't the TGM, the team has run another 24-hour race, so it wasn't the very first one, but it was the first one that we were running as a series and as I believe what we could call the full team. I'm not exactly 100% sure who ran in that other one, but not necessarily important. But the important thing being there was a lot that happened this year just in the Gem series alone, and then of course if you go on to the other TGM events that are have happened this year in experimentation and growth, and as that is building up into the GT3 season that starts this month, as well as then the next month the sports car series will happen. Going into there's actually some really, really awesome gem events, namely the Nürburgring 24 Hours happening in April. There's a Gem Porsche Cup Series that's going to be incredibly satisfying. Of course, there's the Gem 2020 or the Jess 22 season that's going to happen. And I believe, if I remember looking at the calendar, that's going to extend into 2023, which is incredibly exciting. Such a nice long season. I believe they're adding 2 races to complete the Triple Crown. That would be Daytona, Sebring, and Le Mans all in 1 year. So that's going to be, obviously a huge goal. In addition to the Nürburgring 24-hour race, to hit all of those in one season is going to be so exciting, and is going to be, I think, a lot of people's big goals, and especially just for fun. Imagine getting the chance to do those events in general, but nonetheless in such a period where it's going to be very hyped and there's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz as these events are all happening at the same time. So that's huge to look forward to. And then I was thinking about what kind of things am I hoping to do more of throughout the year. And I think the biggest thing that comes to mind is North American friendly racing. I'm interested to see what that scene is like. How big is it? Are they looking for more events, the populace of sim racers in North America? Because it's something that I'm curious about is, are there people out there who are looking for some sort of North American endurance-based or North American time-friendly endurance-based series, or just some regular league race, whether it be an hour or 2 hours long? And so that's something I'm thinking about doing. Particularly, there is already a fantastic community, North America Race Room, which there are primarily events going in Race Room, obviously, and AMS2, which is exciting because they just have a fantastic community over there. So I in 2022, I think I would like to spend some more time taking part in those events. One of them I'm going to do on the 5th, coming up in just a few days, which is a 2-hour Nordschleife race, GT3 and 4 in Race Room. So that's actually really exciting. I'm actually really looking forward to that. I know a lot of people get really sick of GT3 racing, especially when it comes to AMS2 and Race Room. I think that crowd of people generally like to mix it up a little bit more than most. And so for me, this is an incredibly exciting event, but for them, I believe it's like, okay, the most famous track, or if not one of them, and the most common car class. So I get why not everybody gets excited about Nordschleife events, but for me, it's like a pilgrimage to Mecca. It's I can't wait for the event. So I'm looking forward to that, and as well as what else happens throughout the year. I think I'm going to try to leave Discord links, or just links in general, in the description below if you're curious about, like I was saying, about TGM events or about any of these North American Race Room. But I do want to interrupt and mention here. So I'm flipping through the radio, and Valtteri comes up real quick on me, rear ends me. Here's the safety car. We were told to pass the safety car, and we get lined up right before the end. We have a 2-lap shootout in which people could have stopped in pit in front of us. So it was interesting to see this race fully adhering to the rules. Like Lewis, that move maybe should have been penalized. The end of the race maybe not being handled perfectly. So it was just interesting for me to get this closure with this race. And, I didn't mention, this is the end of, I haven't mentioned this yet, this is the end of my career mode. So I'm sitting in first place in the points, and I'm going to the last lap now. I'm sitting 1 lap away from the championship here. So I didn't mention that, so it's a nice closure for the end of that season, as well as this driver career that I'm currently in. And so... bringing it forward while we're on this last lap, what am I looking for out of Topsim in the year 20? I wrote 2021 in the notes. In 2022, I'm wondering about, as we're sitting on this video, I'm wondering about driver career videos, championship videos, that kind of thing, from whether it be ACC or F1. If that kind of thing seems exciting, whether or not this kind of race was enjoyable, to see the strategy and to maybe see more into the points, less of the actual seeing every pass, more seeing just the highlights and how things going from race to race and how the cars are stacking up, that kind of thing. But beyond that, I'm looking to have more one-off races for the channel and not kind of races where I think that they have to be perfect. And it's not, I'm not necessarily touting myself as some sort of perfectionist, but I feel like I'll get to this point with the AI where it's like, oh, well, we bumped in the first couple laps, got to restart it. And I feel like that hinders a lot more videos than it helps. So that's something I want to work on going forward. But anyway, thank you guys for sticking around for this really long video, but I hope this race was really exciting. This was my first 50% race length season. And so, or this career rather, is all 50%. And this is season 2. So just started season 3. I might record all of some footage and bring highlights of an entire season in one video as opposed to one race per video. But that's something to think about if you're interested in that going forward. Here we are celebrating the championship with Ferrari. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it. Let me know what you guys are hoping for from sim racing in the new year and for motorsports in general in the new year. I think there is a lot to look forward to, a lot that happened in 2021 for sim racing. That was a fantastic year. I think personally, for my personal life, it wasn't necessarily one of my favorite years, but I think there's no denying for motorsports, for racing, for Formula One, whatever it is, sim sport. I think a lot happened that was fantastic for everybody. So thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one, and I'm gonna go celebrate my drivers' championship in the off season.